What's up, everyone, and welcome to another
What's
episode
up?
of the Update Podcast. We hope you liked the previous one where we interviewed Migs and Yiges, and ngayon marami na naman tayong pag-uusapan. But before that, we have some not so breaking news kasi 1 week ago pa to, but in a significant development, Seven Gagate has left the UP Fighting Maroons. He transferred to the De La Salle
Aww.
Green Wave. He was a Lasallian. He came from the La Salle Green Hills Juniors program in the NCAA, where they were notably runner-ups against Andy Hemao and the Letran Squires, no? And during an exclusive interview, I think with All Star Magazine, ito, no, he said that, of course, what it was a factor that he was
Mm-hmm.
going to be reunited with his former teammates in Luis Pablo. However, he also said that what they offer him is opportunity and confidence. Now, the obvious signs point to Mike Phillips leaving the De La Salle Green Archers after this season, no? And in fact, nung napanood natin nung off-season, hindi nila masyado nilalaro yung FSA nila, no? They went back to Bright Nuanco, who was their season 86 FSA, pero hindi nila
Yeah.
siya masyadong pinapalaro. So, I think at the outset, mukhang may point siya when it comes to opportunity. Um,
Yeah.
After this season, intact pa yung bigs natin eh. Kayo guys, ano tingin nyo?
Oh, I have a
Ah,
question. How many playing years pa si Seven after sitting out season 88?
Dalawa ata.
Dalawa.
Mm-mm.
So, because of the new UAAP transfer rules, because of the Mason Amos rule, -2 na siya. So,
Ah,
having played one with us,
ah.
2 years na lang.
Well, yung etong transfer ni Seven is a result of everything falling into place talaga, I think. Kasi everything has to, all conditions must be met, parang ganun. Number one, yung opportunity for minutes. May mga mababakanting slots for big men sa Lasal. Number two, ayun na nga, si Mike Phillips, 'di ba? Tapos siguro number 3 na yun yung malaking factor diyan yung pag-hire kay Coach Renren Ritualo. Well,
Yun, actually yun pa.
Oo, yun.
Because they got his former, former high school,
And,
high school coach.
yun nga, siyempre, yung hindi naman natin may na yun na may logjam talaga sa natin, sa bigs natin ngayon, especially with with the recruitment of Migs Palangka. 'Di ba?
So, ang nakapila kasi sa atin, 'di ba? Sean Alter, si Gani.
Yes, Sean and Gani are still eligible.
Yes.
Oo, tapos syempre may FSA, OG.
Yeah.
Tapos the enter si Juancho.
Siguro yun. Nagsama-sama na lahat ng mga factors for it to for him to arrive to that decision. And I think it's a long time coming na rin naman na nakikita ko na rin na ganun yung mangyayari sa kanya. He would eventually have to decide.
It's been a long time coming with me to celebrate.
It probably wasn't the easiest in terms of decision kasi another year na hindi siya maglalaro. And these kids, diba? They came talaga to play basketball. And if there's one thing, for example, that is difficult for them is sitting out another season. But he said nga in the interview, diba? He's looking on what the La Salle system might provide to him career-wise, on the development perhaps of his game. Makuha daw na uli yung confidence niya. And hopefully that's something that he'll be able to get in. I mean, thank you, Seven, for wearing the maroon. And all the best in your new team and your career journey. Thank you.
Pag sinasabi see you in court.
See you in a basketball
court. As we always say, once a fighting maroon, always a fighting maroon. Thank you very much, Seven.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, di ba, parang we had 17 and now we're almost close to being sure on who the 16 would be coming the UAAP season. May konting weeks pa. So,
sure ka na ba?
Kunyari na lang
sure ka na ba? Sino ang 16?
Kunyari na lang magugulat tayo.
Sige. Mapag-uusapan natin in a later episode yung in and out of the lineup. But now that we've headed into the last part of the off season, no, and going into season 88 of the UAAP, we are now going to have a little discussion between us. Let us grade the UAAP teams, no, using the UP grade. So 1 to 5 may kasamang incomplete, no. Pwedeng drop din kung meron. So we will be presenting grades. Magpa-flash tayo ng grades sa screen, and then let's talk about each of these teams, no, kung bakit yun yung grade. Is it justified ba yung grade na binigay na yun? And we will be giving out these grades on the basis of number 1, yung performance nila in the off-season leagues, no, and in the other games, no, pocket tournaments, exhibition games, kung ano yung mga pinakita nila. Second, kung sino yung mga nakuha nilang players, no? So players go out, players depart teams every year. So what did each of these teams do to replace or to replenish the talent in their teams? And finally, another basis would be kung paano nag-improve, no, yung internal development ng players nila. Are there any notable names that we need to watch out for this coming season na mukhang will do better than they did last year? So yun ang ating pamantayan for giving out these grades. So, start na tayo?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
Let's do this.
Right. And you made the assessment initially, and then we'll go ahead and see, for example, if we agreeers or not agreeers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And additional comments. Yes.
Okay. Sige, simulan natin.
So, without further ado, and this is not ranked by grade, this is ordered alphabetically. So we will start with the first letters of the alphabet. So without further ado, let's start.
With UST.
First.
Bobo. First Adamson, di ba?
Yeah.
UST.
Ayan, Adamson Falcons. I gave them a 1.25.
Wow,
Bakit 1.25? Mataas.
Really?
Mataas, di ba? Tingnan natin. Let's see, guys. Hear me out first.
Okay, go.
Granted that we always saw Adamson kasi as this team na parang nag-overachieve, no. Yung the general impression year after year is hindi ganoon kalakas yung talent level sa roster nila, but because of their coach na floor raiser, na ceiling raiser nila, somehow they sneak into the final for every year, which is actually what happened last year, no. They made it to the 4th spot in the Final Four once again. Adamson is a team that's always been just around the corner, no? Parang kulang na lang sila na 1 or 2 ingredients. Now, given na yun yung standard set for them every year, and then wala talaga sila nung masasabi mong transcendent UAAP superstar, no? Ang pinaka-superstar na nila is Manzano, who is good pero is not at that superstar level na parang JD Kagulangan last season, no, or Kevin Kembao. Now, Adamson got a 1.25. Bakit? First of all, they were able to win not 1 but 2 championships, no. They won the Pinoy Liga Collegiate Cup Championship, and they also won the Asia Basket Invitationals. But ayan, sige, abangan ko yan, but hear me out first. So they won, granted na hindi full power yung competitors nila, no, especially sa Pinoy Liga, pag-uusapan natin yan mamaya. But still, given the expectations, given the general expectations upon Adamson year in and year out, I think they did so much better than before. Another factor is they were able to retain their high school team, no, yung Baby Falcons core nila from the Juniors Championship. Sina Earl Medina, notably, their star rookie, who I think will be a very good player and a really, really nice candidate for a grassroots program.
Grassroots.
No? They were also able to secure actually 2 bigs, no? Isang 6'7" at saka isang 6'9", no? Si Perez at saka si Tomaneng. So, although raw, but they're all coming out of high school. They have 5 full years ahead of them. They also got si Demisana, no, at saka si Competente from Ateneo and FEU respectively. So And Demisana and Competente were also part of the Gilas youth team, no? Kasama ni Nagagate at Coronel. So, they're in for promising season actually. They might give us surprises. So, I'm not saying na this is not the power rankings. We're not saying na they're ahead of everyone. I'm just saying na given the things that they had to do, the homework that they had after season 87, they made the most out of it. So I'm going to give them 1.25. Any thoughts, guys?
Wait, ako question ko, is your basis for 125 the expectation versus how they perform, or just the performance of season? Because
just the performance, I think.
Diba, to Jama's point, they won Pinoy Liga, but who are in Pinoy Liga?
I mean, yun nga yung asterisk ko.
Yeah, may nag-pull out na dalawang team eh.
Oo, nag-pull out yung yung UP1 and UP2 eh. It was supposed to be a UP1 versus UP2 in the finals eh. Pero again, we did what we have to do. But then,
tinalo naman nila ang UP2, di ba?
Yeah,
that's true. They beat UP2.
Yeah.
To be fair.
TBF.
And yun yung reason Batay nag-pull out, nalungkot, nalatalo. Charot.
It was a dent to our standings. Akala ko rin na magpa 5-0 ang UP sa Elims noon, but no, Adamson had other plans.
Yeah. Pero it was an achievement na nag-Asia Basket champion sila, to be fair.
Yeah. I kind of like the grade just because obviously of what happened, like you mentioned, the last season. Na-farm sila last season ng mga players nila. So retaining Earl Medina is actually a big thing for their program as well. In my heart, I'm also rooting for them partly just because I want to be lined up this season. Ray Allen Torres, which is a UPIS standout that we do have, no? And they always were on the brink of making the Final Four. So this season, I think this might be the last season of Baby Moy Manzano, I think. And we always like
kailangan Manzano. Talaga Baby Boy, hindi Sedi.
Actually, hinihintay na yata siya ng PBA, matagal na.
Oo, parang nagre-recruit na. Totoo.
Yeah.
So I wish they do well. I hope obviously they able to win a few more games no? Kasi they've been flying under the radar so far. UST didn't really probably expect that much of a competition nung final sila dun sa Asia Basket, but they give them a good run after the money. And they're doing well as of the moment also yata dun sa Big Dance. I think they've been winning a few games also there. So, I have no problems with the 1.25. Are they better than the other teams in that? Maybe arguably not, but they did the most of the off-season and they did the most on preparing for the season. Kasi compared to other programs, they might not be the more heavily funded programs, but they're doing what they can to actually reinforce their team.
Nag-ano ba sila? Nag-abroad ba sila? Nag-out of the country sila ng preseason nito?
Parang wala. But they played Korean teams na pumunta rito. Okay. Actually, nanalo sila against, I think it was Phoebus. Ulsan Phoebus. Natalo nila Ulsan Phoebus in an exhibition game.
Sana,
I'll give it a 175.
Oh. Fair enough. Kasi, yung Pinoy Liga, i-asterisk ba natin yun? Agree naman ako, i-asterisk natin yun. Pero yun nga, like Mark said, ang basis ko talaga rito is given what they had to work with, were they able to do their homework? And I think nakapag-upgrade sila compared to last season. I really do think nakapag-upgrade sila. Matt Erolon is a star waiting to happen. I think after si Manzano, I think na-max out niya na yung potential niya within the UAA.
And pero
si Erolon mukhang siya yung next eh.
Yung isang naman nila, hindi ko naman discredit yung isa nilang championship kasi they were also undermanned doon. If you remember, nag-decide na mag-leave ng team si Mantua nung in the middle of the off season. Tapos I think wala. Nandun ba si Cedric nung finals? Parang
He played ba?
Yes.
Siya yung dinuduro-duro
okay. All right. So anyway, I think they were still they were still formidable despite being undermanned.
And I would love to see them in the Final Four for season 88.
Yeah. They're one of may soft heart din ako for Adamson.
Classmates. Hi. Hello,
hopefully,
classmates.
Go classmates.
Hopefully na hindi na yung hanging by a thread na they would have to play in pa.
Totoo.
Yeah.
Just like what happened with them with Ateneo a few seasons back.
I love it. Diba? Pwedeng mangyari uli yan this year. Baka magulat ka Ateneo ulit.
Yeah.
Which brings us, I think, to your next team yata, Miles.
Yes, that's correct. And for the Ateneo Blue Eagles, we're giving them an incomplete INC, no? Okay, hear me out.
Ba talaga, Miles?
Justify natin yan. Sabi ko kanina.
Baka LOA. Nag-LOA sila.
Sabi ko naman sa iyo kanina lahat ng grades kasama rito. May posibleng may drop, pero spoiler alert, wala akong binigyan ng drop. Weird naman. Pwede rin 4, pwede rin 5. But for Ateneo, INC. Bakit INC? So, ito yung, here's, for our non-UP listeners, no, here's how INC works. So, ibig sabihin lang yan, kulang yung requirements na sinubmit mo for the prof to be able to give a grade. Now kapag nagbigay ka ng requirement,
pero passing
actually,
yung standing.
Pero passing yung standing mo.
Yeah.
Yun, tama, passing standing mo. And in fact, pwedeng mataas pa yung grade niyan eh. Pwedeng actually 1 yan eh. In theory, pwedeng mataas yung 1, pero hindi mo lang sinubmit yung grade mo on time.
Hindi ka nag-submit ng isang major requirement.
Ng paper. Gano'n.
Ang paper, ganyan.
Final paper o kaya project, no? Pag sa mga ganyan. Minsan sa mechanical engineering may project din. So anyway,
nung pandemic,
pwedeng mataas ang grade na to, hindi lang nasubmit lahat ng requirements. So,
yeah.
Which exactly
na yun?
So I think ayun nga, which exactly is the point with Ateneo, no? Kasi after the Asia Basket Tournament, no, yung palipat-lipat ng campus na tournament, no, at the beginning of the off-season, yung campus tour, they disappeared from the radar essentially. They played a couple of games in Iloilo against the San Beda Red Lions where they split, nanalo Ateneo sa una, natalo sila ng pangalawa. But other than that, wala silang masyadong pinakitang sample size, no, for us to be, or at least for me to be able to make a judgment for them. Kaya ko sila binibigyan ng incomplete. It can be very high pero kulang yung sample size. Pero given that they were able to recruit a lot of players, no, nakuha nila sina Fielvang at saka sina Rota, no, from the Ateneo
Escobar,
yung teammates ni Bahay dati. Tapos yung Escobar and Lazo, one and done. And then of course they're much hyped one and done, si Kimani Ladi. So, we will see. We haven't seen a lot of him, no? Tapos si Divine Adili pa, their new FFA. We don't know how he will play. What we do know is Kitevis and Kun are finally gone. And that leaves them with more minutes for the likes of Tuanyo and Gamber, I guess. Waki Espina and Jared Baay. And hopefully the return, no, of Lebron Nieto, no, si Josh na pala siya, Josh Nieto. So, what do you think, guys? Ano masasabi nyo? Justified by incomplete or should we have given them a numerical grade?
Pero ito ang tanong. I would say na justified yung incomplete. What would their grade have been kung nag-compete sila doon sa mga tournaments na pinagkompitan nung other 7 UAAP teams?
It's hard to say, no? Kasi the time that they met LaSalle, it was still very very early in the season. And early for them, early din for LaSalle. And the same for the other teams na nakalaban nila, no? So they're still building, and likely most of the other teams that they faced were also building. So they played also in Japan, I think, 'di ba?
Osaka,
what the results were they for that. But justified for me yung INC, no? Our last guest, si Migs Iniguez, did say that he's looking forward to compete against them kasi some of the people that they recruited, kilala niya, you know? I think yung kind of mga field foreign athletes na meron sila, the likes of Lazo and Escobar, I would imagine. So, it'll be curious how they will playing out. One of the key factors that they would have is seeing how these new recruits, the one and dones, would fall into Coach Tab's system. How will they be able to play with each other? How Bahay will be playing this year, I think. Matatanggal ba yung pressure a little bit on him already? So, yeah, curious. I think initial assessment, they were very, very competitive nga on that early basket campus tour tournament. So, I would not be surprised if they're going to be pushing for the Final Four. Will they be trying to push specifically for a final slot also outside of just the Final Four? Time will tell. And in all honesty, it's a good thing na hindi natin sila makakalaban the first game kasi we'll have a good chance at least to scout them out on how they will be playing in the UAAP season before the time that maybe
ako drop.
Sino kalaban nila sa first? Sino una nilang kalaban?
Drop kasi parang yung Ateneo, parang yung nag-attendance ka lang sa first week ng klase.
Si Tino Dumireto.
Tapos hindi ka na nagpakita. Tapos na yung dropping period, hindi ka pa nag-file ng
walang tawag dun, di ba? Hindi
Force drop.
Force drop. Force drop ka na.
Or awol.
Kasi di ba, nakita sila ng Lasal. Okay, tapos yung pocket tournament in Mindanao.
Yung Iloilo nila with
ba kayo afternoon? Well, yung recruits, I mean, di ba, if you think about it, how much ang laki ng pangangailangan mo to fill players if you're going to recruit 2-1 and dones. Diba? Ibig sabihin,
pero
ang lalaki ng buta sa bubong mo para kumuha ka ng dalawang alam mong pupuno lang doon sa tatapa lang doon sa buta. So, ako, I think drop.
I guess ito kasi ang reasoning I think dyan sa reason sa behind those signings with yung a couple of one and dones na yan. Well, tatlo nga sila. So I think yung mentality ni Coach Tab going to this, it's a win now mentality. Similar to how player movements go in the NBA.
Kasi last season na yata.
Kasi parang last season na nga ata ni Tab. So
yes.
Mag-iiwan na lang siya ng I guess like at least naman 'di ba on a winning record. Yun sana yung mentality niya ngayon, 'di ba? To leave the program on a winning record, I guess. So
he did lose a number of players, and honestly, there are more universities that are options now compared before that it might just be Ateneo or La Salle, no? So competing for talent, he did his assignment and field work early. I think binago din siya on the way both UP and La Salle plays, the way that he thinks now on how recruitment should go or how building talent should go for each team.
True. And Tab Baldwin is always formidable coach and has a really good eye for talent. So ayan. Yung mga one and dones na yan, may nakita talaga siya din sa mga yan. Di ba?
I think these are mature recruits, no? Kasi usually a one and done mature na yan eh. Ang tingin ko lang talaga na risk ni Tab, which we can compare to a recent example, which is UST, no? Nung unang pumasok si Pido, na hindi sila nag-participate in the off-season tournaments. The flip side of that is you now have a bunch of new players in your team, pero hindi pa nila masyadong kilala yung opposition. So, I think that's what happened with UST, no? Nung unang year ni Pido, it was essentially a lost season for them, no? Even with Cabanero in there playing like a monster. Parang pamigay season na siya. So, yung risk lang, I think Tab knows what he's doing naman. So, we'll see.
Yeah. Can somebody check yung opening weekend games kung sino nga yung kalaban ng Ateneo?
So, kung 8 sila, ang kalaban nila ay 6, which is FEU. Tama ba?
FEU nga ba?
Yeah, it's FEU, yeah. They'll be going up against FEU. So,
okay.
Interesting.
Should be fun.
Okay. Let's go to our next team in the alphabetical order.
Alphabetical pala.
Yeah, alphabetical to.
Okay.
We have the De La Salle Green Archers with a 1.5 rate. Bakit 1.5? Simple lang. They looked really good in the off-season games, no? They won a lot of games. They were unbeaten in the Phil Oil tournament until UP was able to eliminate them, no, in the semifinals. They won the tournament, the home and away tournament of Asia Basket, no? The one where they played Ateneo in Moro Lorenzo notably. They won the tournament and they reached the finals of the WUBS, no, the World University Basketball Series. So the De La Salle Green Archers have 4 notable recruits from the previous season coming in. They're finally eligible. We have Mason Amos and Kian Baclaan and Jacob Cortez and Luis Pablo. And to be fair to them, to give credit to them, mukhang nagkakaroon na talaga sila ng chemistry, no? That was what they set out to do at the start of the off-season. Nung umpisa mukhang nagkakapaan pa lang sila, but oops, may spoiler. But anyway, yeah, we'll get there later, no? So just to continue with LaSalle, they were able to achieve the chemistry that they wanted to build with their core of players. That's why I'm giving them a 1.5. And also actually they were able to recruit one of the top high school players.
Miles, pakiulit nga yun. Ay, pakiulit yun yung they were able to achieve.
Yung they were able to achieve what they set out to do, no, at the start of the off season, which is to achieve to get chemistry for their new players, no, yung the players that they recruited essentially to replace the production of Kevin Kiambao. So that's a 1.5. I think kaya mas mababa siya sa Adamson ng konti is because well, number one, aside from Daep and Kines, they weren't really able to recruit a bunch of other people, no, for their long term for their long term recruitment. Puro pang next season na yung iba. And second, they lost in the semis of the Phil Oil tournament, no, notably. So they lost a game that mattered. And they haven't won since the early off season. They haven't won a tournament since the early off season. And I guess yun. And there's not much improvement then, I guess, on their wings. Parang sina Marasigan, Makalalag, Abadang, same.
Yeah.
Teds lang.
Factor din na ba sa 1.5 na na-hire nila si Renren Ritualo?
And I mean,
well, yeah, I think. Oo, kasi pero we still have yet to see the effects of his recruitment, parang
kailan lang yun
recent of a hire.
Oo.
Yeah. Except for the 7 recruitment, I guess. So factor 'yon. Pero
ano bang magiging si Renren Ritualo? Assistant coach?
Assistant. Yeah.
Free throw coach.
Free throw coach.
The overall shooting
for shooting naman in general.
Shooting coach.
Yeah.
Ako go lang sa 1.5.
With the loss of Kevin Kiambao, no, they're now in the new era of the LaSalle Green Archers. Now the kanilang recruits, yung kanilang mga na-harvest, sila Kian Baclaan, Luis Pablo, Mason Amos, Jacob Cortez, nandiyan na sila lahat ngayon, no? Summing up specifically their Avengers theme for this particular season, seeing for them to recapture the championship. And I think, alam mo yun, they did well in the off-season. We did fight for that semifinals game and that we eventually won. So good on us. Pagkatapos natin talo sa elimination, nanalo tayo after. But LaSalle comes in as a favorite for this season, definitely. They did well in WUBS, alam mo yun. They did not lose on teams that they felt on paper they should be winning against, especially in that tournament. And alam mo yun, the Korean University team was just pretty strong, and we saw that ourselves when they faced them. So, barring any type of injuries, they seem to have the depth specifically to get all the way for this particular season. So, this grade allows them a little bit of wiggle room, some more room for improvement. So, let's see how it goes.
Hope they don't choke.
Matabil talaga
I'm
dila
sure
nito ni Tito Jello, no?
Jello talaga.
I mean,
I
di
love
lang
it.
naman
I'm
ako,
sure
miski naman mga taga-Recticano, sinasabi choker yung team nila.
I'm sure this game, the game against Ateneo will be great because Ateneo
Right.
comes in strong with recruits and Mason Amos.
Yes.
The heat on Mason Amos comes this year, babe. And one thing that will be very fun this year is actually yung pagharap uli ng Lasal at saka ng Ateneo. Gawang may recruitment na maganda ang Ateneo at naging competitive sila early this season. I'm sure bangayan yan, yung Ateneo versus Lasal, especially with the issue of Mason Amos this
Transfer,
time around. And dito nila ilalabas ang galit nila. And I think may laban ng Lasal at ang Ateneo dyan laban sa Lasal. You never really know versus Ateneo kung how the results would be between this rivalry team. So, enjoy guys. Sana sa QPub din yan.
Blue Eagle Gym daw. Blue Eagle Gym.
Oo. Habang binabaha.
Mga mid-October nila laruin para gitna ng bagyo season, ganun.
Tama.
Exciting yung given how the color between the two teams the last time a major Ateneo player went to Lasal, BJ Manalo. Yung years na yon talagang nagbubu talaga yung crowd na Ateneo, no? So I think we'll be seeing a throwback to those days pag nagkaharap yung dalawang yan. So really excited, really a lot of color.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on Lasal's grade 1.5? I think they did well naman.
Yeah.
And they'll be favorites, that's for sure.
Yeah, they did really well early in the in the preseason until until nakapag-adjust tayo. So
yeah.
It shows that they are not invincible and they have a lot of things to work on. So come this season, I think they're gonna adjust once more. And it's naman up to us, yung team natin to figure them out again and respond. Diba? Yeah.
Totoo. Okay. Let's move on to our next team. Nakita na natin to kanina, no? We have the FEU Tamaraws with a 2.5 grade. Bakit 2.5? Well, first of all, may malaking dagok na nangyari sa team nila. No? They lost Rookie of the Year, VJ Pre.
Na grassroots.
Who was on his way. Na grassroots, no? Essentially. He was on his way to superstardom in the UAAP. But he will be a superstar in the UAAP, but not wearing the green and gold of FEU. But aside from that, so that aside, no? They were actually playing pretty well for a team that just lost its big star. They actually won a couple of important games sa Phil Oil. They were in the share of the early lead, no, sa elims ng Phil Oil before eventually bowing out in the competition, before eventually starting to lose and even out in the standings. I think they won a surprise victory against the UST Growling Tigers. And even though they have an American FSA waiting in the wings, no? Mukhang si Konate will have the FSA position in lock. I still believe that he's the best FSA in the UAAP right now.
Totga natin yun eh.
Monster, double-double. So, and sayang talaga, sa atin dati si Konate but I'm really glad that he's showing out at FEU. Mukha rin nag-i-improve yung other players nila, no? Notably si Daa. Joric Bautista is still there, still very good. But their other teammates are starting to catch up, no, in terms of development. We'll also be seeing notably among their new players this season, si Kirby Mongkopa, no, yung teammate ni VJ Pre. Kirby Mongkopa, I guess, would be like a mini VJ Pre. Parang VJ Pre din siya in the sense na 6'4", 6'5", power forward na may inside-outside game. But he just doesn't have that same scoring knack, no? The same ability to score 20 plus points per game. as VJ Pre.
Ito yung injured, no? Na-injure sa high school ba?
Yes, ito yung na-injure na high school. So yun, so really excited. Somehow they have VJ Pre replacement, if you could call it that. But they still have a lot of things to work on. But aside from retaining Kirby Moncopa, they weren't really able to make a splash in terms of recruitment this offseason. And that's the other reason why I'm giving them a grade of 2.5. Ano sa tingin nyo, guys?
Pasalamat UP, bakit naging 2.5? Wala
To be fair, umalis muna siya ng FEU bago siya punta na UP. So
sa kanila din napunta yung yung baby Tamaraw nila, si Liam Salangsang ba? Tama?
Yeah.
Sa kanila din.
Yes, sa kanila napunta.
Yung anak ng famous PBA player si Alan Salangsang din. Talented din.
Tsaka,
6-footer na guard.
Yeah, si Alan Salangsang.
Medyo uneventful lang tong preseason sa FEU eh.
Yeah.
I mean, but they went
aside
to the US. They went to the US for
Yeah.
Di ba nag-transfer din si si Miranda? Because of
yeah, pero out of the BB Tams program siya eh.
BB Tams ba siya? Okay. Kala ko na naka-line up na siya or
hindi nag-senior.
Well, he was gonna be pero hindi na mababot.
Pero alam mo yun, parang there was a lot of hype nung kapag etong si coach, sinong coach nila? Sean Chambers. And then whenever he went to the States on a recruiting mission. So I wonder what happened dun sa mga ganun.
Yeah.
Mga ganun niya.
I think may competition na sila sa US recruitment with UE and the UE coaching staff. So we'll talk about that also later.
Feeling ko, yung sa US nila, ang tingin ko, parang it's not parang it's an invitational, parang exhibition game.
Yeah, hindi yata siya tournament, parang invitational.
Diba? Parang it's an exhibition game kasi parang parang pinakilala ni Sean Chambers sa community niya yung team, parang gano'n na parang
because diba,
pinaglaro niya exhibition.
Coach siya dati sa diba? He's been coaching kids from the States.
Yeah, in LA.
So marami siyang connect doon and baka meron siyang nahugot doon or something.
Ako okay ako sa 2.5. Uneventful.
Isa pa yan na baka nga incomplete din sa akin yun eh. Hindi ko sila masyado nakita eh.
Baka mas mababa pa.
Oo, baka incomplete sa akin yun.
Baka incomplete.
Hindi, pero at least nag-Phil Oil tsaka nag-Pinoy Liga.
Yeah, tinapos naman nila yung Phil Oil at Pinoy Liga.
Bagay.
Hindi naman parang nag-attendance lang.
Nag-attendance lang.
Sobra ka, Jello. Sobra ka. Baka magsisisigaw ka pagkalaban na natin yung sinasabi mo.
So this ends part 1. We will be dropping part 2 shortly. So stay tuned, and as always, UP Fight.